Hello everybody. A 13 Mazda 6 Sky Active, and we have the DPF inspection required light on, and we have the check engine light on, and that's what it's in for. Now we've done the code scan, and this is just a printout of my codes, because I don't want to leave this page and have to go back to it and do all that kind of stuff again. But anyway, yeah, codes, full system scan, anti-lock and brakes. We had disabled TCS disable switch, invalid data received from ECM. Then we have smart city braking, whatever, but the powertrain one, control module. So we have P2458 particle filter regeneration duration. Next page. I can't properly see the code, but we have particle filter restriction, soot accumulation. We have brake pedal position, accelerator pedal position. It's probably incompatible, is it? Then we have P0471 exhaust pressure sensor A circuit, and then we have P2262 turbocharger / supercharger boost pressure A not detected, mechanical. Bring it to my scan tool. There are all the codes I had. Bring it to my scan tool, and reading data stream here. You can see exhaust gas differential pressure, average 70 HPA. I don't know why he's saying that, but anyway, exhaust gas differential pressure is 0. So key on, engine off. That is correct. Don't like that number there on the exhaust pressure sensor bank 1. 3500 HPA. Manifold pressure desired around 1 bar. That's probably right, or 1128. Happy enough with that. Manifold absolute pressure close to 1 bar, 982 HPA. Key on, engine off again. And mass airflow 0. So that's the one I have my doubts about. It did give a little drop out there, just there now. But that's the one I have doubts about. I don't like that one. I'm going to start this car. So there you see the DPF engine inspection required. Check engine light on. Traction control light on. There are the issues. And we go to this one. Exhaust gas differential pressure 100 HPA. That's much too high. The DPF is very much so blocked in this car. I'll give a little rev. 2 grand. $260 HPA. But not getting any change out of this lad either. So from the data PIDs I can relate back to 2 codes, or more than 2 codes I suppose. The particle filter blocked restriction codes I can relate to the exhaust pressure sensor A circuit range performance code, and I can bring it back and relate to the P2262 turbocharger supercharger boost pressure A not detected. So I'm looking at a dodgy sensor, or maybe a pipe blocked, and I'm looking at a DPF blocked that have to be cleaned. Okay, we might get to this sensor and see what's going on. Okay, so right now I'm worried about this pressure sensor here not reading correctly. It's there, that there, exhaust pressure sensor bank 1. Now the key's on and the engine is off, and you can see the number there. I believe that's very wrong. Now, is the sensor reading incorrectly and at fault, or can you see down there, could the pipe be all crowded up with carbon and whatnot and causing it to read incorrectly? For a moment, for now, I'll try unplug that sensor. 500 HPA we've up to. I am now going to try get that sensor up out of it and the pipe to see is the pipe blocked or clear or what's going on. But worry about him now at the moment. Okay lads, with the codes cleared and the sensor out from the pipe, we are still stuck on 3600 HPA. And the pipe is not blocked because I've confirmed that with my manometer there as well going into the pipe. This sensor, I believe, has failed on us. And I do believe that these are updated to a newer version, a steel kind of version with some nice steel pipes to go along with them. So I'm going to go for them, for that sensor and a DPF clean, and see where this takes us in the Mazda fixing issue. Okay lads, while I'm waiting on this sensor to come in from the main dealer, they're a bit slow. I'm going to crack on with other jobs I have to do. I'm going to change the injector seals or copper washers on all 4 injectors with the new upgraded ones. I believe they're copper ones in under here. And while I'm there, I'm going to have a look at the camshaft. So while the injectors are up, I'll remove the valve cover and examine camshaft for wear. Common fault on these as well. So I'm going to crack on with that. Okay lads, just something to be wary of when you're pulling up the injectors. These little washers, they are washers that you might think are part of the holder for the injector, but they're not. So you could lose them, so just be careful. Right lads, my valve cover is off, and examining this camshaft, it is bad news. Not good. That one there worn as well. I'm sure that one will be worn. Yep. I've got a cut gone into them. And this one here as well. Yep. This thing needs an exhaust camshaft. I didn't think that was going to be the case, but it is. Now my injectors are out. You see the copper washers, I was swapping them out for new upgraded steel ones. They don't look to be leaking or too bad. But that camshaft is bad news. And that probably means, the new camshaft, the exhaust camshaft. Okay lads, it's time to change the camshaft on the Mazda 6. The exhaust camshaft, that is. Now I'm going to do it Peter Kennedy style. I don't want to take off the timing chain, so we're going to use his method, and we're just going to push the pulley off while keeping the chain on the pulley. Move it out to one side, move it out that way, take off my caps, and that camshaft should come up. He has videos on it, and I'm going to copy that. Caps 1, 2, 3, 4 marked. I'm going to remove this cap here as well. I have marks here lined up to the top of the head. I have marks on my exhaust cam, so I'm going to count teeth from that hole, and that's where they mesh up. That is 5 teeth from that hole, from that mark to that mark. So I want everything to go back together right and in the same time. I also have one just for the crack down there. I know that camshaft is going to be changed anyway, but the more marks the better. So I'm going to crack the pulley bolt there now in a minute, we're going to use a little made up tool to hold the cam pulley and slide it back. So hopefully this is going to work for me, and in the next 20 minutes we'll have a new exhaust cam correctly timed back on this engine. Okay lads, this camshaft now is unbolted, all the caps are off. Bottom pulley, or the pulley, camshaft pulley at the end is off and slid out and held on our holding tool. So I'm just going to pull it up. It's going to come up on this end, I believe, and not affect my fuel pump. There we go. Fuel pump at that end. A little bit finicky. Caught in the lobe, I think. Now there we go. Right, that's one exhaust camshaft out. Side by side now with the other one. So these are our little wear marks compared to our new one here. Nice, smooth, flat surface. And it's the same on all them lobes. So that's it now. I'm going to try to get this one, along with these rockers, back in. So it's going well, so far so good. And there's my part number for anyone who's interested of the rocker covers. Of the rocker. And that's the part number of the new camshaft kit. Alright lads? Okay lads, my camshaft is fitted and caps back on and squeezed down. Timing I'm happy with, marks aligning back up. The next mission now is to get the pulley back onto the camshaft and squeeze that up. So I have to push that pulley back in, get it nicely on the Woodruff key and squeeze up the bolt. And I think then maybe very close to being out of it then. Okay, just to confirm that my pulley is on the Woodruff key inside, and a little bit nerve-wracking stuff now at this point because I'm going to remove that holding tool. I have to be sure that the pulley is in right, and I don't know, can you see there? It's a camera, I have the boroscope down there. Yeah, right there. The pulley is on the Woodruff key. So now I'm happy to remove that tool, and that'll give me the chance to get in my bolt and secure that pulley to that camshaft. Okay lads, camshaft pulley is on and squeezed tight, and now I'm just turning this for the first time just to make sure that everything is silky smooth in there and doing what it should do. About there. The mark should be bang on, which I have confirmed already. Yes, I'm happy with that. This is done. I'm going to clean up my cam box and put my valve cover back on, and that's it. Yeah, I do have injector seals to do as well on this, and I do have a DPF clean. Okay lads, my valve cover is down, and I am replacing now. The injectors are ready to go down with new washers in there, steel ones. They were the old ones, copper style washers, and you can see they were showing signs of wear there. Starting to go, but renewed for these nice steel ones. Cleaned the seats down in them holes, so they should seal nice and good. So injector is going into this now. Okay, the Mazda's all back together. There's my new exhaust pressure sensor. So it's a different, very different looking to the old one, which is there, little plastic one. It's upgraded to that style of exhaust pressure sensor. Steel, they give you a steel bracket, they give you a little rubber hose with it, and they give you this little loom of wire and a few tie clips. So I'm back together, camshaft, injectors, injector seals, and my exhaust pressure sensor. I get a scan tool on this, make sure that sensor is reading correctly now. and start it and run it and see what happens.
Right lads, just confirming my exhaust pressure sensor is true and correct and working now. Before we were stuck at 3000 HPA. We are now key on, engine off, 1032 HPA, which is atmospheric pressure, so that is now reading correct. Okay lads, my Mazda is up and running. I cleared codes, I done resets all off camera now, and what I also done off camera was the DPF clean. So that was step 1 of 2. So 2 bottles of the JML DPF cleaning fluid went into the DPF. It went in through that pipe there. That's the pipe before the DPF. So 2 bottles of that went in. And I have to say, it worked really, really well, because our exhaust gas differential pressure now, HPA, is somewhere between 5 and 10 HPA, where before the clean that was at, we're at idle now, where before the clean that was up at 100 at idle, and the average was, I think, 70 at idle. So the DPF clean has worked a treat. Our differential pressure numbers are down and reading right, true and correct. Now, I was all happy with myself, and I drove this car up the road for about 40 minutes spinning this car. Now, it drove okay, but what I did notice was, when you put the boot down, there's kind of a little bit of delayed reaction when you're looking for a boost. So you're waiting and waiting, and then it boosts. Or you're expecting that to happen a lot sooner. That's what I noticed myself on the drive. And then just before I came back into the garage, there was no lights on, the car didn't see any faults, but then up came the smart sitting braking light on, and what it did report back, the code I had stored was a P0299 turbocharger A under boost condition. Now if we bring it back to here, we did have at the very start P2262. Now, it's not the same code, but it was turbocharger, supercharger, boost pressure A not detected. So thinking I was out of this, I'm not yet. What do we do so far? We done the exhaust pressure sensor, we done the camshaft, we done the injector seals, and we cleaned the DPF. Now let's see, we got rid of that code, the DPF regeneration duration. We got rid of particle filter restriction. Brake pedal we didn't do anything with, I haven't seen it come back, and we got rid of the exhaust pressure sensor A circuit fault. But the turbocharger, supercharger, boost, and their P0299 turbocharger A under boost condition. So the car is kind of feeling what I'm feeling, just a delayed reaction in the boost. Now, right, I believe there's 2 turbos on these. Maybe I'm thinking now we're going to do a visual on these turbos and see where that will bring us. But powerful stuff, that JML stuff. Done a right job on that DPF. Okay lads, this is interesting. We've got the big turbo up here, and we got a smaller turbo down there. I don't know, can you see? There should be a little kind of a trap door thing. The light is terrible here, but yeah, I don't know, can you make that out? That trap door? Something is after falling off that arm. Can I fish this out with my magnet? No, I can't, because it's not magnetic. But yeah, I don't know, maybe there's a good shot. There's that thing on my way. Yeah, see that little kind of plate? That is after coming off the arm. I know it's not, can't get a good view of that. I mean, battery has gone low. There maybe. That is broken off that. So that's not good. Also, I think the wheel of the turbo has slightly got damaged from whatever little bits have come off that arm and off that little kind of a saucer plate, like a trap door. That's on the smaller turbo. So that's why that's why we have a lag in our boost. Right, so again, that's it, like that has fallen off that arm. Now that won't come out for me. It won't come out through that hole for me, so let's get in at that another way. That's the problem anyway with our boost. That plate is after falling off that arm. Now lads, I have my boroscope in that hole and I'm looking at the wheel of the turbo. Now, little bits of metal, whatever fell off that arm, has slightly damaged that turbine wheel. So, yeah, this is not great news. I don't know. We'll see what happens next. Right, lads, I'm on the hunt for that little piece that's broken off the turbo. And if you come around here, taking my pipes off, this is the intercooler. My hand is up in there, I can feel this. That thing. Come out now. Maybe this. Might get this one. Okay, it's not magnetic, but it's definitely in here. Stay with me now. Ah, there we go. That's it. Yeah, it's aluminium. But that's it, that's what's broken off. So look, that's a good thing that we found that now, so that's not going anywhere else. Alright. Well, it's after finding that little thing in the intercooler, I'm going to reuse it, because we're going to do a repair job on this. There's a lot of money gone into this car already, and a turbo might just break the bank at the end of the day. So look, we're going to try and repair this. So reusing that, using the plate, I'm going to sit it on there, and hopefully I'm going to put a bit of weld on that, and that's it. Okay, okay lads, there's our plate welded back on. Got a nice weld on that. It is a bit loose, but that's the way it's supposed to be. I did use the original little backing part that had fallen off and I found in the intercooler. So I'm happy to put this thing back together now. Save this man a turbo, and yeah, refitting process next. Okay lads, I'm sitting back in the Mazda. Just after going through a full system scan there, so we're going to clear out any of these codes. And once they're gone, we're going to test drive this now. Started, no lights on there now. I'm going up the road to see how this reacts. Okay lads, that was a quick test drive there up the road. I drove perfect, much more responsive, boost kicking in much earlier than it was. Doing another code scan on it there right now. All green so far, which is good news, and no lights on the dash. If we can go back to the very first day that I had this car, we've done a code scan on it, and try to make sense of these fault codes. So particle filter, regeneration, duration, believe I have that fixed. Particle filter restriction, soot accumulation, believe I have that fixed. The brake pedal position, accelerator pedal position, incompatible. I've done nothing to address that, nor have I seen that come back up since. The exhaust pressure sensor A circuit, I believe I have that fixed. And then the turbocharger, supercharger, boost pressure A not detected, and it said mechanical, and then that flagged another fault code for me afterwards, not on camera. P0299, turbocharger A under boost condition. Now I believe with everything I've done to this Mazda, our camshaft, our exhaust pressure sensor, our injector seals, our cleaning of our DPF, and I done DPF resets, and then finally and lastly then was our turbo problem there with that little trapdoor broken. I believe finally we are out of this Mazda. Now that's the only one, the brake pedal one, that I can't account for, but everything else I can clearly say and see that we've done something to address them faults. No lights on, and after my test drive I've come back and the code scan is complete with 0 fault codes. Every module is happy at the moment. Now look, this car will need a lot more driving, which will happen, and if it does report anything back, then I will show it, and I will continue on with the video. But I think surely now at this point we're out of it. One thing I didn't do, which is a common failure or fault on the Mazdas, is the intake manifold blocking up. But I can assure you, I had a camera in there and I had a look at it. It is not blocked up by any means. Map sensor is not clogged with carbon. It looks quite clean and good in there. But yeah, hopefully, I hope so now at this stage that I'm out with the Mazda. A lot of work done on this car, a lot of faults addressed, and I believe fixed.